The spirit stops. I guess the attack finally walked out of nowhere. Footsteps approach behind me. Whoa, hey, hey! A voice yells comically, and whoever it is puts their hand on my back, but I can't take my eyes off the spirit before me. Banshee, is that you? What are you doing? Instead of replying, he shoves something into my hand. It's a large chisel with a grip stained in blood. I found it in that room with the mansions. In that instant, I understand everything. The heart of the curse that we were searching for, the object that gave birth to the spirit. So it was kept in Cujo Mansions? Thanks, I'm going to use it. I grab the chisel and face the spirit. The cannon soldier is weakened. We have the chisel, and you are going to use the bell again. The bam swings the chisel down on the soldier. Why should I strike with the chisel? Choose the right eye, left eye, between the eyes, right ear, left ear. I think it's the right ear. I jab the chisel at its right ear. It stares at me dispassionately. Finally, it smiles and disappears. The statue stops moving and collapses. It stopped, right? Seems so. I don't got the mark anymore, so there's no doubt about it. Once again, I'm the only one still cursed. Glad I made it in the nick of time. If my legs were in such good shape, it would have been over for us. Thanks for saving us, but you know that was pretty reckless. I thought I said it's dangerous for a group of mark bearers to go somewhere haunted. Ah, yeah, you did mention something like that when I was eating. Completely slipped my mind. Tell us, old man, what happened at the mansions? I'm not quite sure myself, but I'll tell you what I know. After you left, I wandered the place looking for something to eat. My mouth hurt like hell, right by a room. I slipped inside and found a bunch of chisels and things. It must be in that room I found. I was kinda out of it because of the mark at that point, but I noticed one of the chisels was glowing all weird with a dark light. Man, thank goodness he has the spiritual powers to see it, because otherwise there's no way anyone can choose the right one. I knew right away that it was hiding some awesome spiritual power. But what made you decide you had to bring the chisel here? You seemed sure it would be effective against the cannon soldier. I heard a voice when I picked it up. It reminded me of a lady's sorter. It said to bring the chisel to you, and that's when it hit me. It was what I had been looking for. Oh, that thing you mentioned in the call. The heart of the curse that created the spirit. Exactly that. So I hoofed it over to give it to you. When I looked through that room before, Yasuoka said that the Kucha family used to create Buddha statues a long time ago. Oh yeah. It's possible that chisel was able to create the statue that became the cannon soldier. I don't know what that voice was that he heard. Probably something like the mysterious voice that has guided me before. You know, I haven't heard it in a while. And that's what happened. So we're heading back to the mansions then. For one, I'm hungry, but I bet Damon's worried too. I left without saying a word after all. Yeah. Searching for documents on the mark, carting all those statues out. It'll take more than a day to do all that. We should go back to the mansions and figure out what to do next. What? We're leaving already? I want to examine this place. I glanced at the statue fall on the floor. Sorry, but you will have to do that another time. Fine. In exchange, not one word about this shelter to anyone else. I'm going to study every inch of it. Yeah, okay. Hey now, this is my home. Can't have you rooting around here. That's just you saying that you don't legally live here. I bring you food, so stop complaining. Much obliged. We return to the concrete passageway. I might be imagining it, but it feels like the end here is a little less stagnant than it was before. No, you're not imagining it. That's what happened when you managed to deal with the curse. We'll climb out of the manhole in MU South Alley. Damon runs up to us, drenched in sweat. He looks even worse than usual. He probably shouldn't have run. I found you. Hey, old man. Why did you suddenly sprain out dimensions? My mark's gone now too. What in the world happened? I had something to give Bam. Isn't that right, hero? I guess. I'd rather not think of the consequence if you hadn't made it in time. I'm not sure I follow, but it seems he really helped you out. Well then, if I must do my investigation another day, I will splitting ways here. Our marks are gone now. Bam still has his though. This always happens. I'm used to it. But now I might be able to change that. If I finally discover where the statues stolen from H. Shrine are. I'm lost, but I'm glad for you. It's thanks to all of you. I figured the rest out by myself. You should all return to your regular lives. You're saying we should split up then? You sure you'll be okay? Something will work out eventually. Besides, this is Saya Kujo's dying wish. I want to respect it. Well, thanks. I'll head back then. I've been missing all those chemical smells from the lab. Good to hear your research is exciting. But don't forsake your humanity over it and end up like Miss Zhu. Like I would do that. It's not even funny, by the way. Oh yeah, Mr. Bam. Whenever you want to get those statues, I'll help out. Until then, see ya. I'll be off as well. Honestly, all this has put a strain on me. I'm barely staying upright. Whatever you do, don't collapse on your way home, please. Hey Bam, one day I'm hoping to let the public know about the underground shelter. For the sake of the wandering souls, without proper burial. I would like it if you help me with it. See you around. Guess I'll go too. You're not returning to the shelter, are you? I'm not that brave. The soldier's gone, but there's plenty of other things down there. I'll give it a few days to settle. So you're still planning on going back? I'm not sure I would call that a smart move. Comes with living this kind of life. I'll bunker down or power under a bridge until things calm down. See you, Bam. Bring more food next time, yeah? The former mark bearers have all left. I should probably head to the mansion himself. I've got to decide what to do next. I hear a voice calling from behind me. I turn to see Banshee in the middle of the road, staring intently at me. What's wrong? I remember now. His eyes are as wide as saucers. I forgot because of the mark, but I have met you before. What? What do you mean? Oh well, let me think. He scratched his chin. I know his memories are probably all a mess, having just gotten them back, but I don't have time to wait for him. Ah yes, we first met 5 years ago, and then again 10 days ago. I feel like I've been struck by lightning. I first arrived at Kujo Mansions 10 days ago. That means I met him before I lost my memories. I need to know who in the world am I? I couldn't say. I wasn't interested in asking your name and you didn't give it. Then tell me what you do know. Tell me about myself, please. Okay. I owe you for the food, so ask. What should I ask about? 5 years ago? You show up at the shelter. Wanted to know about the Heavenly Buddha project, get me food. Actually, you were more focused on the Kujo family than the cannon soldier. Why did we talk about them? The head at the time was majorly involved in the project. He was famous for his spiritual power, so the army asked him to help. He loaned them a number of his family's prized sacred treasures. You really zero in on that bit. Do you know what exactly the army got? Yeah, the shelter had a list. A mirror, a chisel, Buddha statues, cursed objects and holy talismans. They were all returned to the family. Which means they're all in the mansions now. You kept popping up by a few times until one day you just didn't. I only saw you next 10 days ago. Next is 10 days ago. I had just seen the cannon soldier and you can bet I booked it out of the manhole. I ran into you on the street and you treated me to food to celebrate. Thanks for that, by the way. And she's talking about the person I was before I lost my memories. It was weird to hear about myself this way. You had mentioned you had been overseas. You only come back recently about a month ago. Oh, and that's when I learned of the mark. You told me about it. It has slipped my mind until just now. By that time was my right arm. Yeah, it had the mark. You were acting all odd though. You'd go to remember something, then stumble over the words. The curse was probably in the late stage. In fact, I had completely forgotten my name past a few hours after that. By the by, I've got something to tell you. This here Banshee Into is a much noble character than regular folk. That's why I lead a detached life away from the world's vulgarities. What are you trying to say? I could be crazy desperate, but I had never shamed my dear departed mom on divine providence. You understand? No, you lost me. I'm saying I had never resort to stealing, even dying of hunger. Yeah, these are yours. He pulls out a wristwatch and a wallet. It looks like an antique. They're inlaid with subtle designs. You forgot them at the restaurant. Let me see them. I grabbed them both and rushed to open the wallet. But there's no ID inside. There was no driver's license or company card with an ID in it when you got it. Don't ask me. You said you forgot your old wallet somewhere and lost it. It was probably in there. Oh. Look at what else is in the wallet. Bills, coins, and a number of familiar business cards. Saya Kujo Spirit Healer. Ah, those things. You tried to give me one. Told me to go there if I remember, but I gave it back. I don't make a habit of carrying useless stuff. Saya Kujo's card was in my pocket when I first arrived at Kujo's mansions. It must have been the one Banshee's returned. There's no doubt about it. I lost all my memories after I met Banshee. I've asked everything I want to know. There's something still bugging me. Did I say anything about the mark when you saw me 10 days ago? Well, I was so focused on eating that I wasn't paying full attention. Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, you said the same thing as Hiro about the cannon soldier. There's no way a human head on a statue would make it move. But it did actually move. That's what I thought too. And then, you said something strange. You said what happened 50 years wasn't because of the project. It was all because of her. Her? That's not all. You said she gave you the mark. That she loved watching you lose your memories and feel dead. You made her kick the bucket once, but she came back to life. You said you needed to do the same thing done 50 years ago to get rid of her. My heart wants to beat out my chest. I can feel sweat run down my face. There's no way I can keep calm. Before I lost my memories, I had known who had cursed me with the mark. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we have another game, Spirit Hunter NG, and that game came out before this game, Spirit Hunter Dead Mark. So, the events happened 50 years ago could be in that Spirit Hunter NG game, I suppose. Hey, old man. Oh shit, did I tell you? I wanted to know too, so I asked, but you couldn't answer me. I don't think you were trying to hide it, you just honestly didn't remember. Was that because of the mark? Well, that's about all that I can tell you. Bam, we should get going soon. Go, where? I'll tell you in your car. I'm real tired of standing. I would like to sit for a bit. There's no point in arguing here. I just get it out of him once in the car. My past self. Let's go back to the dimensions. Nope, the mansion's out of the way. Banshees clambers into the backseat of the car. His heavy scent fills the enclosed space. I can finally catch my breath. Now then, driver, take us to the forest by the H castle. I drive down the familiar road. All lights along the way are strangely green. We reach our destination without me having to slow down the car once. The engine chugs along. I feel the wheels of fate turning like those on the car I'm riding in. 10 days ago I promised, in exchange for you buying me an extra order of almond jelly, if you did forget everything, I'll take you to Edge Shrine. Sounds like I prepare for everything. But if I was that careful, why didn't I leave myself a clue? Why prepare if I was just going to forget? Did the curse progress faster than expected so that it wasn't time? Or did someone get rid of it? But if I had business at Edge Shrine, why didn't I go there while I still had my memories? Something about timing. Waiting for some magic summer cleaning to clear away the impurity. Suddenly, my old self echoes in my head. I speak the words out loud slowly as realization dawns. The summer purification rites. They are rites held at shrines to exorcise evil. On the last day of June, you pass through woven roots to cleanse yourself. I was trying to use that ritual to exorcise the impurity. Ah, gotcha. Luckily, today's the 1st of July, so the rites or whatever I've done should be no problem now. Exorcise the impurity. What kind of impurity was I trying to cleanse? The more I learn, the less I understand. My previous self is like a complete stranger to me. And we're going to get to Edge Shrine. How many times have I come to this forest now? The creepy arch and text trees look the same as always. You know where Edge Shrine is, yeah? Lead the way. You've never been there? First I heard of it was 10 days ago. Banshee and I push through the vegetation and make our way down the beast trail. We pass under the stone torii gate. Yeah, this place again. And finally arrive at the desolate Edge Shrine. The few headless Buddha statues that are left shine in the light of the flashlight. So the statues used in the project was stolen from here. Yeah, that's right. Is it really true the statues are connected to the mark somehow? I've considered the possibility that the mark was caused by the divine rat. But 10 days ago? You said what happened 50 years ago wasn't because of the project, it was all because of her. This course I have been following this whole time, then at some point I had to have been fed some huge lie. But what could it be? A shudder runs through me at the thought. It feels like I'm looking into the depths of hell. You said 10 days ago that that altar holds something important. Something about needing to keep it here to exorcise the impurity. He approached the small altar and put his hand on the sliding door. Huh. What's going on here? The thing's empty. Don't ask me. It was already gone when I was here earlier. Well, that's darn weird. You said there was a cloak pouch. What was inside? A small fist-sized statue. A Nanji Busu or something. It was the gold shintai for the shrine. The Kujo had used it in the shelter to stop the mess 50 years ago. And again, it's a Kujo family. They must have strong ties to the mob. Well, if this is about all I can do for you, at least it was enough to pay off the desert. We should head back, son. Alright. I'm still unsure about what my old self was thinking, but it's clear whatever plan I had didn't work out. Where did the Nanji boosted go? Probably back at the mansions. On the way back, I feel reluctant to go. I keep turning to look toward the shrine. Each time I do, Banshee hurries me on to the forest entrance. This is where we part ways. You're not going to ride back with me? I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a bit carsick on the way here. Flat roads were fine, but the curves and hills did me in. I just got a nice meal and I would hate to throw it up, so I will walk back. But it's pretty far from here. Kids are such wimps these days. When I was young, I used to walk across the Himalayas all the time. Oh my. You sure you're not exaggerating? This ain't nothing. Ha ha ha. His laugh is loud enough for the whole forest to hear. He waves and leaves me alone. Once he's out of sight, I get into the car. I pull out the deserted parking lot and drive back to the mansions. As I count the streetlights passing by, I go over everything Banshee told me. 50 years ago in the shelter, the cannon soldier went berserk. But it wasn't because of the army experiments, it was her. The army was unable to stand up to the threat of her and the soldier. But the Kujo family had used a Nenji booster to settle everything. However, she still exists in this time period. She was the one who gave me my mark. Before I lost my memories, I was planning on using the Nenji booster like they did before. I left it at each shrine so it could be cleansed of its impurity. But somewhere along the line it went missing. The past me probably couldn't have predicted that would happen. I'm almost back at the Kujo mansions. As my drive comes to an end, I focus on what the most important detail is. That's right, who she is. I have a hunch about her identity, but I cannot be sure yet. And that definitely proves that she was there. 50 years ago, she made the cannon soldier move down to the shelter. The Kujo family has sealed her. It would have brought her to the mansions. The sacred objects for the project of which she was one were returned to the Kujos. I grip the steering wheel tighter. If there were any way to defeat her, it just has to be in the mansions. I don't have any solid proof, but the fragments of my memories are whispering to me. I mean, all of a sudden, the only the only possible culprits left is the doll. There's no one there. We only have the doll in the mansions. But she was crushed before, right? So I'm not so sure. The entrance doesn't look any different. Oh, my mark burns. Just shopping nearly brings me to my knees. It seems she has no intention of hiding her presence any longer. In pursuit of the truth. I can save the game here. Of course I'm going to save it. So, we meet again. Mary's voice is soft. I know now. Behind those words is hidden an intense lust for blood. You came back to life rather quickly. You gave me nearly a whole day, more than enough time. I admit that Rabbit's attack surprised me, but that unexpected events can themselves be rather enjoyable. When I had brought Mary to H-Shrine, we caught sight of the rabbit there. It might have suspected Mary's true nature. That rabbit, its great love for you pushed it into recklessness. What was that rabbit really? Determine that for yourself. Who are you? Know that and the answer will come. Though it is impossible so long as you bear the mark I gave you. Mary gave me the mark. I had a hunch, but hearing it from her lips fills me with dread. Just what are you trying to accomplish? Dragging the living to the depths of despair before killing them. I believe that, I explained, it is a spirit's utmost desire and joy, and I had your cooperation with achieving that. Cooperate? That's ridiculous. Oh, have you not realized yet? You did bring those pathetic mark bearers directly to these spirits, did you not? They fear the spirit's existence, tremble in the face of death. I savor the taste of that fear and despair. Most delicious. You had Orbos help out, just to terrify the mark bearers even more? Clearly. I could have waited for the curse to complete if I only wanted them dead. That is not the only lie. Mark bearers must stay in small groups. Do not contact outsiders. All my instructions were to drive you into a state of emergency. And not once did you doubt me. I bet she's telling me all of this because she wants me terrified with how hopeless the situation I find myself in is. I'm frozen in place and I know my face must be as pale as death. She must be loving this. Don't tell me you create all those spirits just to accomplish that. Indeed. When Lady Christie believed the divine rat was the cause of the mark, I had never been more amused. Her foolishness was so delightful, I just had to come along with you. So you lie? Of course. How could a pile of broken statues possibly do anything? I could be imagining it, but I feel like she hesitated for a moment there. "50 years ago, I was sealed away by the head of the Cujo family. I awoke here 5 years ago. At the time, I was still unable to speak and communicate, but it seems my awakening alone caused a number of ripples. Those who died unfortunate deaths on cursed land became monstrous spirits. The H-elementary abuse, the honeybee mass suicide, Seiko's assault and suicide, they all happened 5 years ago. I finally regained my full power a little over a month ago. Then the Buddha statue connected to me 50 years ago began moving. The woman killed by the statue was also influenced by my power. That must be the cannon soldier and Zikawa. Zikawa believed it was the divine oracle from the soldier, when it really had been Mary. She did as the great Asura said and transformed herself into Miss Zoo. Once my strength returned, I again bestow my power on spirits. It connects humans to me and manipulates them into a panic. The mark. I know you've been toying with us, but well, what's there really a need to make us be connected to you in some way? Of course, by being in direct contact with you, I could taste your fear. Even now, are you scared of me, Lord Bam? No. Very admirable. I mean, we're finally figured out the truth, so it's not that big of a deal now. Her porcelain face cracks. Ever since you declared that you would fight the mob, I have waited eagerly for this day. Over the past 10 days, I have tasted your fear through the mark, thick and syrupy, as sweet as honey. Each savor morsel made me want to smash you to pieces, but I waited. I am not so foolish as to kill a goose that lays golden eggs. Ah ha ha ha! That's hot. Well, I mean, that's not how it was supposed to went to go. What the hell was I saying? But I cannot take it anymore. Like crushing a ripe fruit and sipping its juice. I want to break you down and savor your sweet fear. Whoa! Yeah. The mark is dyed a deep crimson. A few minutes left until death closes in. My thoughts blur together suddenly. What happens to a mark bearer right before dawn? I have seen it many times. Is that what's happening to me now? Lord Bam, wait for me. Kill ya. And I can hear Mary stand up over by the sofa. At this rate, the rest rate will be mine too. I have to run away. Check within the rat in my room. Something whispers in my ear. That's right, that voice. But what does my room mean? Focus, who does that voice belong to? Yasuoka, she said. It was someone who loved me. In a live or die situation now. I think it was Saya Kujo's voice, maybe? Mary's coming closer. Why should I run? Saya's room, I think. I sprint at full speed up the stairs and fly into Saya's room. I was correct. Much like the entrance hall, it's dark. The voice said, check within the rat in my room. The rat? You mean the blood on the floor there? There's something there. But where should I look? It should be on the floor. I mean, when we first arrived here, we saw that. We saw her corpse on the floor. We saw how it looks like, so it should be here. Yep. Saya Kujo's bloodstain is still on the floor. It's obviously dry by this point in time. There might be something lying on top of it. I can't be sure. It's just too dark. Nothing was there the last time I was here. Picking it up, I discovered that is a small pouch. Besides a hard, thin object, I move over to the moonlight to see it's better. Oh, it's a small Buddha statue. It cannot be. Is this the Nenji Busu? It seems to be stained with blood and I get an ominous feeling from it. The impurity, it hasn't been exorcised yet. I instinctively know the instant I see it. My mind is suddenly flooded with all my memories of the Nenji Busu, one after another. 50 years ago, the head of the Kujo family used this to steal Mary's power. He put the Nenji Busu inside her to seal her. Then about a month ago, someone took it out. That person was me. Because of that, Mary regained her powers. The Nenji Busu in my hand looks exactly as it did back then, full of impurity. Impurity that has built up from stealing Mary's power for 50 years. To cleanse it, I left the Nenji Busu at the uncontaminated X shrine. It will take time to exorcise all the impurity. It's already July, the summer purification rite is over. So why is it still impure? The object the rabbit had in its mouth, it could have been carrying the pouch then instead of the master key. And the Nenji Busu was taken away from X shrine before the beginning of July. Maybe the rabbit saw Mary by the shrine and was scared that she would find it. So it had no choice but to steal it away. Oh yes, I mean back at that time, you were carrying Mary to, investigate that case. I totally forgot about it, but maybe something about, the chewing bride there, if I'm not mistaken. The door to the adjacent room opens. Mary must be looking for me. That she can sense the presence of mark bearers. What's going on? Wait, is it possible that Saya's blood is protecting me? Bring it to where I met my end. The voice whispers in my ear again. If this isn't where the voice owners died, they must have met their end elsewhere. There's only one other place. I mean, the Black Rabbit, right? The location where the Black Rabbit dies. While Mary's in the room next door, I sprint down to the entrance hall. I make a beeline to Mary's sofa and to the spot where the rabbit died. The voice that spoke to me and helped me every time a spirit was closing in. If Saya was walking through anything, it must have been that rapid. Sensing something, I looked down at my hand. Oh, the energy boost impurity is gone. Is this what you have been telling me, Saya? I speak to the departed woman who has guided me as a shocker without memories. Put the energy boost to the source of the doll's curse. Press it to the black mark. Then the whisper stops. The floorboards creaks ominously. I raise my head to the staircase, rising into the darkness before me. She's here. Yep. A dark figure stands on the landing. I found you! Whoa! Holy shit, look at this! The mark scorched me. My head goes blank. She's coming in. Mary's coming closer. My body won't listen to me. Lord bam. God damn. God damn, Lord bam. Mary closed her hands around my neck. She's trying to kill me. Huh? I squeezed the Nanji Busu and the fog that's impeding my thoughts' lips. It's still a struggle to think. I should be able to move my arm now. Put the Nanji Busu on the source of the curse. Now I remember seeing the mark on Mary's right arm. It was in that picture, so I'm pretty sure it was there. I will have one chance. Why should I stick the Nanji Busu? Live or die situation. The right arm. I'm pretty sure that's it. I managed to drag my impossibly heavy arm and stick the Nanji Busu on Mary's right arm. Yeah, that was correct. She's hiding it. But I'm sure that's where the black mark was. Ah! Marks bloom on Mary, one after another. They're all the color of blood. Holy shit, it's like the curse of those she killed. Ah! We have survived. Oof. Mara shatters into dust. Did I really do it? I hesitantly looked down at my right arm. It's gone. The mark is gone. I did it? I finally did it. I had to say it out loud to convince myself. A victory at the expense of Saya's life. I cannot claim it's completely over, but there's no harm being relieved for now. The fog clouding my head clears away. My memories slowly return to me. I look around the dimly lit hall again. I know this mansion's well, because The clock on the second floor begins chiming wildly like it did 10 days ago. When I make my way to it, it stops, almost as if it has a will of its own. That's right, this grandfather clock. I think a skilled ancestor of the Kujo family crafted it. That one chisel may have been used to make it. That's right, inside this clock. I open the door and stick my hand inside. My fingers brush something hard. Taking it out, I realize it's a voice recorder. I press the play button. This is Masamune Kujo. It's a man's voice, a voice I know all too well. It's my voice. I decide to leave this record behind in case something should happen. That door may dispose of any files or documents. I'm banking on her overlooking a piece of technology. As I listen, I start to remember recording this. I had done it right before I received the mark from Mary. Now, where should I begin? It started 5 years ago, 2 years after I became Kujo family head. My sister Saya and I found a door in a wood box while sorting the warehouse. The moment I broke the seal saw, I could sense something sinister. But it took a while longer to fully understand what she truly is. If only there had been records. But great-grandfather Husilho didn't leave any before his early death. Because of that, his descendants won't tell about the doll. I managed to learn the doll had been loaned to an army life during the war. Oh, yeah, that's how everything began, huh? A strange old man who lived in an underground shelter told me. Then I went overseas to try to get more information on the doll. But I got into an accident while away and was presumed missing. So Saya became the new family head. I wasn't able to contact her until after she had inherited the title. It wasn't something worth contesting, so I explained everything and had her keep up the facade that I was missing. Public records still state Masamune Kujo was very much alive. Of course, I couldn't have used my passport or license otherwise. I'm off topic, sorry. I only just returned to the country last week. Other psychics abroad all agreed it would be better to leave the door be. And then she Busu inside the door still suppressed its cursed power, but I realized it was almost at its limit. If I left it alone, it would crumble. Then it would be impossible to suppress the cursed power of the door. That was worst case scenario. But what was to be done? The answer I came up with was to remove the Nenshi Busa from the door temporarily. Its impurity would be cleansed after a month stored in a pure area, and then I'll place it back in the door. If I succeed, the door's power will be sealed for a few more decades. But the problem is that 1 month. I have no idea what kind of curse would be released when the door's unsealed, and do what I can to prevent disasters. But my power cannot compare to the Nenji Busa. I cannot guarantee anything. There may be victims again, like the tragedy 50 years ago. But this is a necessary evil. It must be done in order to prevent even more people from falling victim. After this, I will disassemble the door and remove the Nenji Busa. I pray everything goes according to the plan and the worst of evils is avoided. I hope this record isn't needed. But if the one listening to this has a loved one who has fallen victim to the curse, then I'm very sorry. The recording ends there. Damn it. I clench my fist so hard my nails dig into my palms. Yes, the voice on the tape was mine, but I'm furious with it. I don't know that person at all. The mark has claimed so many victims over the past month. I even lost my little sister, Saya. Was she just another inevitable victim that the voice spoke of? You know what? It had to be done. I'm El Chuko Bam, but I'm also Masamune Kujo. I understand why he felt as if he had to do that. It was his fate. The Kujo family are forever linked to that cursed doll. Chapter 5, cannon soldier, and man, that took freaking forever. 2 months have passed. The occasional cool breeze signals that summer is almost over. I've spent my time putting the case of the mark to rest as best as I can. I put Saya to rest by burying the rabbit and contact the surviving mark bearers. Putting the Buddha statues in place of honor was also one of those tasks. The one connected to the mark either, but I couldn't just leave them there. Plus, there was no way Christy would keep quiet about the statues. So with her guidance and Yasuoka, Diamond, and Banshee's help, I carried the broken statue out of the shelter and returned them to the Edge Shrine. By now, my memory has completely returned. Things didn't quite go as originally planned, but at least the danger has passed. I don't think my decision as Masamune Kujo was wrong, but at times, wave of powerlessness and despondencies overwhelm me. When I think of the victims of the mob, and of Saya in particular, my chest hurts. I want to do something for them as the new head of the Kujo family. About the memories I have regained. I became the Kujo family head 7 years ago. I admit I was a bit of a recluse. I left the public appearance to Saya, preferring to stay out of the spotlight. The only photos of me are from small local newspapers. I uncovered Mary by accident in the family's warehouse 5 years ago. It was a discovery that changed my life. I traveled extensively abroad in order to learn more about Mary. In one country, I got into an accident and fell into a coma for half a year. Even worse, that country proceeded to treat me as an unidentified traveler. I don't know if that was merely my terrible luck, or if Mary's curse has something to do with it. When I was finally able to contact home, Saya had already become the new head. The rest was as the tape said. I had no idea that Mary's power was far greater than I had imagined. All my efforts to suppress her power were completely useless. My memories unraveled faster than I thought. How did Mary come to be in the first place? One theory says a dollmaker in the 19th century used magic to create her. Another says a spirit of a young girl who died prematurely took up residence in a doll. In the end, it's still a mystery. No one knows what happened to create a doll like that. We only know that each of Mary's owners died tragic deaths. Shortly after the turn of the 20th century, she came to be owned by the head of the Kujos. He either didn't know of the curse or simply didn't believe it. Disasters began befalling the family. Mary gained enough power to become sentient and produce spirits. Then the tragedy in the shelter happened. The seething grudge of the experiment's victims and the Buddha statues, they may have triggered her awakening. Whatever Mary's true identity is, the fact remains she altered many people's fates, mine and the mark bearers included. Speaking of, an update on the surviving mark bearers. We managed to save all of them. Moe Watanabe became a part-time writer for her favorite magazine, OOP Arts Monthly. She sometimes comes to Kujo Mansions to interview me about the spirits and ghosts. Tsukasa Yoshida is studying every day for the middle school exams next year. He bragged in his letter to me about how well he did in the national mock test. Satoru Mashita bought me a drink like he promised. Seems he's thinking about becoming a private detective. He actually asked me if I wanted to join him. Was he serious? I don't know for sure. Sho Nagashima is picking fights, riding his bike and doing whatever he wants, as usual. But recently out of the blue, I heard he's joined his neighborhood baseball team. Christy Arimura has started writing an essay exposing all her past affairs. She's trying to get back into the industry. Suzu Morimiya was able to see her father. Lately, she started asking me for advice about how to get her parents to reconcile. I have no idea if I help at all, but she said they sometimes have meals together now. Aita Nakamatsu has gone back to surfing the BBS every day as usual. But what's new has been stopping by the city employment center. I guess he wants to get a steady job and be a role model for Suzu. Best of luck to him. A day doesn't go by that I don't see AI Kashiwagi on TV as part of Love and Hero. She sent a ticket like she promised, but I need to drum up some courage to go on a concert for teens. Alone, at my age. Tawako Yasuoka is still working as a fortune teller in Ginza. Apparently she believes that I have spiritual powers or something. She keeps sending customers with spirit problems to dimensions. I wish she would stop. Madoka Hiru spends her days working as a researcher while also visiting the shelter. Her and Banshee squabble a lot, but I wish she would stop complaining to me about it. Shuji Damon seems to be doing better now. Like a weight has been lifted off his chest. He's in the process of convincing officials to publicize the shelter and build a memorial for it. Banshee Ito has returned to his beloved underground shelter. He stops by the mansion sometimes, filling the place with his scent. Of course, he comes to beg me for food. Everyone managed to stay alive. Now then. I finished my break and returned to the workbench in the corner of the room. Over the past 2 months, Mary has managed to repair herself. Her power hasn't completely come back yet, but she's still extremely frightening. The Nanji Busu alone won't be enough to continue sealing her powers in the years to come. I must prepare extra spiritual measures. It has taken a long time to get those ready, but today I have finally finished. You're sure about that? Once everything is complete, I replace the Nanji Busu inside Mary. Finally, it's over. I picked Mary up and put her in the wood box. 5 years, this all started when I opened the lid of this box. Mary stares up at me from the depths of the box. I have no idea if she's aware of what's happening right now, but there's no doubt she will regain her powers when the Nanji Busu wears out decades from now. I'm determined to find a way to destroy this cursed door before that happens. Until that day, you need to stay asleep, Mary. Dead Mark N. Oof. That was one hell of a game, huh? The gallery has been added to the title screen. You'll be able to view the game illustrations that is being saved. Wait, it's not the end yet? Probably it was the end of the original game. Maybe they add some new DLC in, and now a lot of time has passed. Yeah, it seems that way. We still have one more chapter here. The muted chirping of insects gently drift along a breeze that enters the mansions. It's cool enough to sleep through the night again. It's nearly autumn after all. Whew. I stare out the window at the unchanging scenery without really seeing it. Clouds in the distance rumble with thunder. As if on cue, a chill wind brushes up against the window pane. Rain again, huh? I comment because otherwise it feels like I'm in a dream. It's as if a stranger is speaking. I stare at the leaden sky. Even though I'm resting in a chair, I feel like I'm somewhere far away. When I shift, I see out of the corner of my eye the stack of books piled on the desk. Some were pretty difficult to get my hands on. But I don't feel like I'm reading them anymore. I could read all of them and none would give me any type of clue. That's all I've learned after all this time wasted. The longer I try, the further away it gets. That thing sleeping in the wooden box. Mary. I head downstairs and make myself some coffee. Whoa. There's a sudden knock at the door. That hollow sound doesn't bring back good memories. It is to signal the arrival of new mark bearers to the mansions. But that's in the past now. I swing the door open. Standing in front of me is... Oh. Hiya. Moe Watanabe. Is now a good time, mister? Oh, if it isn't, just tell me and I'll leave you alone. Yeah, it's fine. Moe flashed a carefree smile and stepped inside with a pep in her step. Just her presence makes this place feel less gloomy. With a start, I realized that Moe isn't my only visitor. It's been a while, uncle. I'm pretty sure Oji-san means uncle. I mean, I've been editing a lot of anime. So I kinda know what it means without even having to think about it. I'm sorry for coming without contacting you. Tsukasa, this is rare. Why are you here? It had been a while since we had met up, so we talked about what happened. And obviously the topic came to you, so I told him that I visit you a lot and should come with me. No big deal, right? I was just getting bored. Of course I don't mind, I was just getting bored. Yeah, I figure as much. You seem the type with time on your hands. I haven't seen them both together since the mob. Mo has come by sometimes for interviews and the like for an Orko magazine. But this is the first time I've seen Tsukasa Yoshida since then. I wasn't really concerned over him, but I will admit I'm relieved to see he's alright. I'm glad to see you are well. Have you gotten the chance to relax? I have. But aren't you busy with the entrance exams? Do you have time to waste doing this? Breaks are important. As an adult, you should understand that. Yeah, you're right. I glance over to see Mo staring at me. What is it? It's just I'm working hard at my job too. You don't have anything to say? Don't catch a cold. I can't think of anything appropriate, so don't catch a cold. Well, what is... Obviously you're clueless. Don't force yourself. Not that I gain anything by having you praise me. No way I am a match for Tsukasa. He works crazy hard. He was first in the recent mock test. That's only natural. After I have a goal. You do? I've never heard him mention it. Or maybe I should say I never expected him to say he has a goal. You have something you're trying to accomplish? My parents were lawyers, so I was thinking of entering the juridical profession, but was thinking, has he changed his mind? Wow, that's a cool dream. Jurassic. So you like dinosaurs too? Tsukasa glass full of content. Not Jurassic. Juridicile. As in working and dealing with the law. Look at him. Are you really in high school mode? I've never been at a loss for words before. To be honest, now I'm not sure. If possible, I'd like to ask you what's your opinion, mister. Is that alright? I don't mind, but I'm kind of surprised. Who would think Tsukasa would ask me for advice? That incident I was wrapped up in started it. Now I know there are so many incomprehensible things in the world. I'm considering going to science in order to elucidate them. But my parents, I feel that it would be difficult to tell them. Ah, I see, that's what's going on. It's a serious predicament. You don't seem like someone who has much in the way of work experience. But what do you think I should do? Maybe you should think it over first. I mean, it's seriously, I don't know. It's difficult to say. Everything that happened could have just shaken him up. It might be good to talk it out with his family, think on it before deciding. So that's what I tell him. I see. That is true then. I have time. Thank you very much. I feel a bit better now. I have no idea if my advice was really helpful or not, but Tsukasa bows politely to me. Great, you good now? You feel just bright, unlike this old guy here, so don't worry so much. Hey, I saved your life, you fucking bitch. That's not true, I'm sure he also has a bright... They both look at me. Nope, can't picture it. But that's what makes me approachable, so he's good to vent to at least. But there definitely are things that only can do. Honestly, I can't think of any of myself. I can make a good pot of coffee, but that's not really what they're talking about. I mean, there's that door. Tsukasa falls silence. It seems my expressions gave me away. Have you not made much progress? Nothing I can share at the moment. I have researched everything I can. Mary's true identity is as elusive as smoke. I still haven't managed to find clues. So I'm taking a bit of a break right now. I'm glossing over it. But to be honest, any sort of tension has vanished. My rest hasn't relaxed me. It's more like I'm a balloon that has lost all its air. If I was risking my life and facing death every day, it might be different, but right now my determination to move forward that I had back then is gone. So, I'm sorry, I had no idea. Then it might be best for you to rest and relax a bit. How about a trip to improve your mood? You might get a good idea. I'm about to reply to that when... Another one? There's another knock at the door. Who could that be? Yes, who is it? Mo calls out playfully like she lives here and skips over to answer the door. I'm coming in. The bruised voice belongs to... Oh, the detective! The ex-detective Satoru Mashita. Hey, what's all this? When did you start a daycare? Huh? Mr. Mashita, why are you here? Why are you gay? Why are you running? Did you come to see us? Most clearly excited, but Tsukasa is collected as he bows politely. I'm in your debt for your help back then. Still, I'm surprised. I didn't think we would be able to meet here. Mashita gives an annoyed shake of his head. Shh, I'm the one asking why you're here. Damn, we're going in circles now. Don't lie, I know you're happy to see us. You're always hiding your feelings. Oh, but what a huge coincidence. We've got everyone from the Hanahiko case back together again. This is totally destiny. I feel conflicted seeing her innocent smile. If everyone's happy after such a horrific event, then maybe it will fade quickly to memory. Ouch. Everyone, huh? In that case, one person no. One being is missing. As he mutters, he glances at the spot in the room. It would be best to change the subject. Yeah, you were talking about Sayakujo. So why are you here? I have something to ask you first. He answers me with a question, like usual. Bam, you told that fortune teller about my office, didn't you? Does he mean Tawako Yasuoka? Yeah, it might have come up while I was talking to her about Mary. Why did you have to go and do that? Now I'm drowning under investigation requests. What does that mean? Are you a private eye, Mr. Mashita? Well, but's in her eyes, shining. She's not timid, I grant you that. Wow, I guess you'll be pretty good at that. Oh, if you get an interesting job, bring me along with you. Even Mashita can only blink at her innocence. And this is exactly why it's annoying. Still, when I think about it, Machita's complaints don't make much sense. How could he be disadvantaged by my sharing his info with Yasuoka, who is incredibly famous? He himself said he was drowning under requests. I only told her about your office. What's wrong with that? Getting job requests is good, isn't it? What detective hates too many requests? Plus, he only just started. Even if he's insanely talented, there's no way he is already overwhelmed. It depends on what the request is about. The one I just got is the worst. Did he just hesitate, Machita? It's your fault that this happened. So Ben. Yes? I'm going to have you help me. Help you? Wait a minute, what are we talking about here? Can't you guess based on the context? I believe he's telling you he wants your help with a detective job. Wow, I can't really picture him working as a private eye though. Now, if he were to investigate a supernatural phenomenon, that would be her... Uh-oh. Wait, don't tell me. This worst request ever that you got. We all hold our breath as we stand, Machita. Exactly, a spirit might be involved. It's a good opportunity. This is what I heard from that old fortune teller. That's not good news. That is definitely not good news. Chapter 6, Little Red Riding Hood. This must be the bonus chapter. And then it should be the end of this game, I suppose. No, this is totally for real, I swear. I think I saw something real bad on that left hotel street the other day. You heard about the Red Riding Hood girl? That rumor about people disappearing after entering that left hotel in K-City? On rainy days, this girl stands by the road like she's trying to get customers. Anyone who goes in the hotel with her ends up missing. And here's the kicker, eventually they're found, but their heads are so messed up they can't even remember their names. Some end up dying in the hospital and other jumps in front of trains. I totally forgot when I was walking around at night the last time it rained. And there was a girl in a red raincoat there, so I thought I would chat her up. But when I got close to her... Tell me, are you? She suddenly started whispering to me. I got real creeped out, so I bolted. No, I'm seriously glad she didn't follow me. Thinking back on it, something was odd. It wasn't raining that hard, but she was the only one who was soaked from head to toe. Later I realized that raincoat was probably soaked with blood, right? Yep. Yeah, you don't have to give me that red screen thing. It doesn't look good at all. That's all I was told. I'm sorry, but I must say that sounds like a simple ghost story. The rainy shopping district and the red raincoat rather suspicious. Machita ignores Tsukasa, looking straight at me instead. It's enough to make me concerned. I'll leave the rest to you, Bam. Ben, you're coming with me. I'm bogged down in my other case. I don't have time to spare. It's your fault that old lady brought this to me, so you need to take responsibility. But come on, you can help me out a little. I'll help too. The editorial department might have some info on a case like this, and your investigations needs an assistant, right? Did you learn nothing, Miss Mo? Isn't this what put you in danger last time? Last time? Those words draw my eyes immediately to a certain spot. She's not here anymore. The same thing won't happen. It cannot. But somewhere deep in my heart, I am anxious. Don't work yourself up. It's more likely that it's just a lie. A bunch of it sounds like it was made up. That's why it's such a pain to have an absurd request like this brought to me. Machita's right. It's highly likely the whole story was made up. If I had to point out anything concerning about it, it's pretty detailed for just a rumor, and it leaves the same kind of impression as rumors of real spirits. But it's better to be safe than sorry. If it does end up true, then we need to act now, yeah? Okay, I'll do it. I hope you would say that. We better get ready. No, I'm going alone. What? No way, that's not fair. I knew she would complain, but I cannot put her in harm's way. Listen, Mo, I need you to search for info. I've got no way to research these rumors, but you have access to a lot more than me. Use your position to gather information. I really hate sitting out and watching you do everything. But if that's how I can help best, then that's what I do this time. If you find anything out though, tell me, okay? I promise. It's settled. Mashita takes out a notebook, rips out a page, and hands it to me. The address of the hotel, Masquerade. It's abandoned now though. Meet there at 8 tomorrow night. 8 p.m. I have to go at a specific time? The client set the time. The old lady said she would call in help, so it's probably a scheduling thing. I don't have to handle this alone then. Plus this is Yasuoka. I'm sure she has some kind of plan in mind. Well then, I need to get to my other case. Mashita turns on his heel and vanishes out the front door. But he's just suddenly back. What's wrong? Weren't you leaving? Nothing, just realized it's a little late for kids to be wandering outside. Mashita calls out to the other two. Hey, you two, I'll drive you back, so hurry up and get in the car. Oh, is that okay? Then I'll take you up on that. I agree, it's pretty late, sorry to trouble you. Well then, mister, we'll be going. Another new case is going to get ugly soon. I mean, otherwise, this game will not be called Dead Mark. The rhythmic ticking of the grandfather clock echoes through the hall. How long has it been since the three went home? I sit and mull over what Mashita told me. I have a bad feeling about this. It's perfectly reasonable to believe it's just rumors. A normal case even. But the more I think about it, the more I'm doubting it. I avert my eyes from the sofa. I silently ask its absent master of questions, but of course there's no way she would reply. The next evening. I get ready and leave my room with heavy steps. The clock says it's 6 on the dot. It's still early for the meetup time. I guess unconsciously I'm a little impatient. I'm already ready. There's no reason to wait here at the mansions. Guess I'll go. I'll just kill time there if I'm early. I'll let the shoot in and out, and it will be quick. I'll turn the car key, my mood improves somewhat. Rumors of the Red Riding Hood. Ah, there we go. This is a set option. Alright guys, we'll come back next time to play probably the final chapter of the game.